Hello.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is Azeeza Jalaludeen, and I have with me Murshidah Said. Our name's on there. And
Yes, hi.
this is our amazing session with our friends, you. And if you are coming online, just like and share and tell us you're online. We are going to discuss on forgiveness in this series of creating your state of prosperity consciousness with Murshidah Said and myself. And Murshidah will be leading the conversation with us, and she has been an awesome business coach and an award-winning business coach who has created some amazing results for herself in her life over the last decade. Knowing her, she has put up some awesome platforms and amazing people. I know I use amazing, awesome, powerful many times, but because that's many time of work that's been done on these people and on herself. And today's going to be exciting, Murshidah. You have very interesting insights to forgiveness, as we discussed earlier. And we have a special guest who will be coming online to share with us her life experience working in this journey of prosperity consciousness. She's waiting backstage. I can see her. Anyway, so let's get on with the conversation of forgiveness. We know people have challenge going about forgiving, and we know the biggest challenge is ends up with us forgiving ourselves. So what's your take on it, and how do you approach the topic?
All right. Hello, good afternoon, everybody. And if you're in other parts of the world, good morning or good evening. Okay, this topic on forgiveness is such a personal journey of mine, where it took me conscious effort to actually release and detox myself of resentment, anger, jealousy, hate, and frustration. Yeah. And we all go through this, whether we like it or not. There will be people who hurt us. There will be people who backstab us, or play politics with us in the office, or just hurt us. Yeah, and it is not about it that the act is okay when you forgive. Forgiveness is not to say that it is okay. If a crime is done, it is still a crime, and you should do all the necessary, like SOPs and all that, for you to be able to, let's say, send a person to court, or go for, go and sue the person or whatever, to take the necessary action, yeah, to hold the person accountable. Now, forgiveness is about you being able to release that feeling of resentment and not carry it for the rest of your life. All right. So what we do in forgiveness is to actually encourage each and every one of you to be aware that forgiveness is actually helping yourself, clearing your own energy, instilling a new positive aura, letting go of that toxic energy inside of you that is carrying on the burden of hate, anger, resentment, and all of those bad stuff. Just like, we detox our body so that, we can have healthier cells. The forgiveness is an act of us releasing negative emotions and toxicity inside of our bodies, so that we have a more positive energy within us. And this is one of the tools for you to be able to attract prosperity, to be more conscious and instill prosperity consciousness inside of you, and manifesting prosperity in your life, right? So this is exactly it. Yeah. So that's what we will be sharing with you. And when I talk about the topic of forgiveness, it is also that it has a link. Yeah, forgiveness also has a link with physical things in your body. Say for example, a headache. A headache means you have a stress, a lot of stress in your body, right? If you experience neck pains, that is where you are keeping something, resentment especially, in your body, and it manifests itself in the neck, and people get neck pains and all that. The back ache, the shoulder aches is something where if you find yourself burdened, like you feel like, oh, I'm doing everything for everybody, nobody's helping me, why am I always doing everything, why am I nobody supporting me? When you have that feeling, that's where the back and the neck areas get hurt, so that's why I work a lot with women, and a lot of women have issues with the back and neck area, because that's where massage, spas make a lot of money giving this back massage, because the pain is there, the stuck energy is there, and it's because of that resentment.
We,
Yeah.
we talk about
So
it as a dis-ease of the body causes the disease. And
yeah,
the other way around, the
exactly.
disease of the mind causes the disease of the body. I always get this mixed up. What is very interesting, sis, this was in Times Magazine more than a decade
Mm-hmm.
ago. Okay, this was when I started learning about all these exercises and everything. They talked about forgiveness in particular affects the
Mm-hmm.
cell and the cause for cancer in our body. Now, God forbid, this is actually forgiveness has been the cause of cancer cells forming in our body, and most of the time is forgiveness of nothing else but ourselves. You said it so aptly about the toxic that we create and generate in our body that causes all the disease that you can ever imagine. So that kind of holds us back in our own, or what we talked about being contracted, not expanded in our space. So we go into all these issues around lack and scarcity, and I think that is one important issue. So in your experience, right, when we talk on forgiveness, what do you see is the biggest challenge in letting go of forgiveness? Why do you think people hold back so much?
Yeah, that is because it's just this stuck energy that is there for so long. And sometimes forgiveness is something that's happened from 0 to 6 years old again, and it's sitting there. And it's like when something happens and it reminded them of a certain incident that happened at that time, which they consciously cannot remember, but that anger comes out. That is something that, they say like, oh, this is just me. Sorry. Yeah. I am not that kind of person. I will not be able to take this, that they become very defensive and angry. And that again, if you don't acknowledge that, you don't acknowledge and say like, oh, I am feeling this way and it's okay. I don't know where it come from, but I forgive myself. I forgive the person. I forgive the whole situation. It is what I can do now that can create a better future. All right. When you don't acknowledge it and you just shove it and you become defensive and you blame, that's where the toxicity remains. And most people are not aware where that anger came from. If they can meet a person who has just hurt them 5 days ago, the person shows up in your front face, hey, I can't stand you. It's so easy, right? But
Yes.
it's like if they just an anger and that non-forgiveness that they don't even remember, they don't even know why they get so angry or upset. It could be something that was from the past that happened to them in their childhood that reminds them of that emotion. And our brain is so intelligent, our brain can remember stuff that our conscious brain cannot remember. The subconscious and the unconscious can remember stuff that we cannot remember. Yeah. So
Yes.
when a emotion that is reminded of a certain incident that they were not happy or not proud of shows up again, that's where they become angry, they reject things, they hurt others, they hurt themselves, and God forbid that they get sick, like you said, cancer. Yes, cancer is where non-forgiveness is in the body, is in the mind, is in the spirit,
Cellular level.
it's in the emotions, and it manifests as cancer cells. So God forbid that happens. So it is not just attracting prosperity. Forgiveness is also good for your health and good for your beauty. So let's live life with forgiveness, and it does take a conscious effort and decision to let go of those emotions.
So you have said something very important, which is about consciousness, forgiveness, and then you said when you started off, you said something very interesting. You said that to talk about it legally or whatever that's needed, action to be taken, which is a very left brain thing, which is very important. Can you explain a little bit about that and how does someone see it separately? Because this is so
Yeah.
crucial. Because when we talk about forgiveness, people always go into the love space, and which is very important. That's how we can instill forgiveness. So how do you suggest people see it separately, and does that happen? How does that look like?
Okay, let's be very easy, straightforward about this. Just follow the law of the country. If somebody has hurt you physically or has done a crime, do the necessary, report to the police, or send him to court
Take the
or get the
action.
person accountable. Yeah, take the action, because you don't want him to do and instill this on other people, him or
That's
her,
right.
right?
That's
So
right.
just do the necessary, okay? And if it's a breach of contract, just do the necessary. But it's like, just because that person did that does not mean the rest of the world will be doing the same thing to you, right?
Yeah.
So the rest of the world may not be the same situation. When
That's
you
right.
forgive, you will be able to move forward a lot better, and you will be able to love others a lot better. People who don't forgive has a problem with love and respect. As I mentioned before, love and respect includes forgiveness, gratitude, and giving. Now, when there's no love inside you, if you can't forgive, everything else gets stuck, and you will get stuck with things like, how do I create wealth, how do I make more money, I've been doing all the left brain stuff, doing my SOPs and all that, but how come the money doesn't come? You get into that state, and this is not what we desire of you. So forgiveness is one of those critical things for you to be able to attract prosperity. And this is all part of our 21-day challenge, which I'm so excited that
Yes.
you get on as well. We'll go through this in one of the topics as well.
I
Very
will be
important.
very, very excited also to share with everyone. I told you about, I work on generational issues, right? So it has been a very powerful thing, and I'm going to keep this as a secret. And during the 21 days challenge, I will share with everyone how I released forgiveness, this forgiveness exercise I did on my parents and grandparents, what they have gone through that came to be so strong when I was traveling. And I do my releasing exercises high up in the sky when I'm traveling in the flight, so that the 3 hours, the 6 hours, when everybody's kind of sleeping, I will be doing my writing exercises, tearing up papers and stuff like that. So it's some of the most important thing. And one of the time was when I did the releasing exercises on forgiveness. And it got to be so strong about generational forgiveness that really supported me in releasing anger and sadness and also frustration against and about rich people. It's so powerful. And I will share this during our 21 days challenge, exactly what went on in my generational space, that it was so powerful for me to release. And since then, I have been attracting, and that's what I was telling you, sister, in the last 6 months, those people that I thought need to show up to just guide us forward in the very high profile space. So we're like 1 degree away right now to many, many, many very high profile people. And that showed up after I did this release. Now that I'm talking to you, I'm related to that forgiveness. I mean, I'm so grateful for that. So this forgiveness exercise is not just in childhood, but it goes in generational, like what we said before, generational at DNA level. It stays with us in our body in some shape, size, or form because of the DNA space as well. So the 21 days challenge is going to go so impact. And as you said, I can't wait for people to come on board. And I know a whole bunch of people are already ready and going in this challenge with us. So right now, we have a guest. We have a guest with us, and this guest has gone through some. Can you give some context to this guest who has showed up with us?
Okay. All right. Is this Noraisha? We have Noraisha in.
Yes.
All right. Okay. Noraisha Anwar. Aisha Anwar is the founder of Avicenna and Hayan Wellness Empowerment and Holistic Empowerment, and she is been since 2013 and 2012 actually. And at that time, she was somebody who was promoting essential oils. She just started her business, but over the years, I invited her into a networking community of mine at that time in Singapore, and I told her that she is. I see so much talent in her, and her heart is just big, right? So and I noticed there was some blocks, right, in terms of money, attractive, a lot of self-worth issue, and a lot of challenges that she was facing in her life. So as a giving to the group at that time, or the main leaders in my team, I gave a forgiveness session, the art of letting go session, yeah. And it was for my key leaders at that time, and she was in there. And what I noticed about Noraisha was that she instilled all of those releasing, and she applied it, and she acknowledges it. She acknowledges if there was stuck, she had some anger issues, she has this, she has that. She acknowledges it. She does not blame. She does not, tai chi it out. What she does is she acknowledges it, and she works on it, and she applied it. And I saw year after year after year after year after year. And what I also noticed about her was that she was a giver. She was always giving. And I said that is a strength, right? In the love and respect context, that is a strength. And also forgiveness is so important, because as you give, you must also release any resentment, anger within you, so that your giving is a happy giving, right? It's a happy giving, and you don't feel it as a burden. And as now it's 2020, and I see she is running a tribe of her own, a community of her own. She's creating big impact. She's also helping some of the refugee women in my community to start, becoming mature using essential oils. So I invited Noraisha here because I would like her to also share on her journey of forgiveness and letting go. And I've also shared this with her community as well. So
yes, shall we invite
this is Noraisha.
Welcome, Noraisha. Yay! How are you?
Hey!
Hi, Murshidah,
This is
Azeeza.
how it's gonna look like. I'm just playing with the thing for a while. Please hold on. Yeah. Got it. Looks much more this thing. Hey, Noraisha, welcome, and thank you so much for being on this call with us and in this session. Yeah, just share with us about what you do. What do you do?
I'm actually a holistic therapy, aura holistic therapy. A lot of people call me the potion master, and I've elevated myself to now be the aura transformer guru.
One more time. Let's get this right. So, aura transformer
Guru.
Wow, that's so cool. Right, go on.
So I actually did a holistic essential oil massage to a lot of individual, and I've using I use a pure 100% pure extract plants where I actually could transform an individual self and actually rebalance, realign their internal self using essential oil and doing layering of oils, about 15 kinds at their spine.
Okay.
And after that, they will actually feel that they had released their pain. They had actually managed to reprogram some of their DNAs, and then they actually felt elevated after my aromatherapy massage of that just 90 minutes that I had with them.
Is it, you said 90 minutes?
Yes.
Wow, it takes 90 minutes to just do that?
Yes.
Wow, awesome. I think we all should do a special session with this lady here. Now tell me, because I know you have, personally, I have been connected with you as well through Murshidah, and there was times we were able to look at your work, and I want to ask you, what has been your transition? How were you before applying these techniques that Murshidah has been doing, in the Love and Respect Transformation Center? What were you before and what are you doing right now? What's so different about it?
Okay. When I met Murshidah first time, she was the first. I guess that in my whole life, what I've been doing, maybe my family is such a giver or such a kind souls that we don't really acknowledge each other of about being good, like well done, you did some good stuff to each other, or you've been showing kindness, or you've been a kind-hearted person. If not been like me, and I was waiting for that like almost my whole lifetime, but I didn't get it from anyone of my family, not even it's like a thumbs up, not even that. So I was always fighting with my internal self. Am I doing the right thing? Because a lot of time when I'm doing things, I just follow my instinct. If a lot of people try to tell me no, but my instinct say, but my instinct tell me to go. But a lot of people say no. So I've always been battling with no from external, but instinct say go. So but I continue my instinct what says, and I just go on. So when I met Murshidah the first time, she actually is she actually acknowledged that Aisha, you are a giver, and it was like the first time I've ever heard from a person, and I find that it's so humanitarian. That's how I felt, and that actually opens up a bigger thing after that. And then she saw the works that I do, and and then she said that Aisha, you have great potential. You have to open your circle. You have to open your bubble. Then I was like, during that time, I was so new to her. What is that bubble that she's talking about? And along the years of my work, I learned about the aura, our bubble, and eventually I worked through my work with essential oil, and that's where I go deeper into learning chakra and how do I open anyone's chakra using the aromatherapy massage that I do. Actually, what I did is opening up the chakra and actually expanding anyone's bubble, and And that inspires me to be where I am now, doing this beautiful aromatherapy massage and transforming people's aura using this technique that I learned.
Fantastic. What did you like about what Murshidah sis has been doing so far in terms of
Okay.
her?
She practiced 3 things that resonates with me a lot, because when I joined the community that she invited me, that community also shared about gratitude. It shares about giving. These 2 things that they actually practice, gratitude and giving, and that resonates with me so much that I actually joined in on board with Murshidah in the network community. But what I love about Murshidah is she instilled love, and that has been in me for the longest time. I believe in love, but a lot of time when we talk about love, we've always been like in a situation where people will take advantage of the love, people will hurt us back, people will make use of us for showing enough love, and a lot of people went through an abusive love and all. They didn't get really genuine love. So true love in perspective seems to be like a taboo kind of thing, and then it's like a fantasy. It's true love that people say true love doesn't exist. I feel that if it doesn't exist, what about humanitarian love? As simple as just being human, And we should have practice that tag along with that.
Go
Okay,
on.
so and for her when she said that, when I first met her, she was the advocate. She advocate spread love and respect, and that resonates me even more with her. I find that I'm so in tune with Murshidah, and that's why I keep in touch with her, keep in touch with her closely, and then joining the group and work with her really, really closely. She grew me to be a leader. She encouraged me to surface myself, because I used to be such a shy person. I can't talk. Normally, it's so hard for me to open my mouth in a crowd. Normally, I would just be
Nobody
smiling, but
believe that. Stop it. Nobody will believe it. It's
yeah.
so
But
powerful.
now,
Yeah, you come out so strong, so powerful, and I personally have seen your growth, and I can see the kind of way you are shining through, and the confidence you shine through is completely amazing. Thank you so much for the time you've taken to come in here, and we will love to have your work shared on the chat group. If you can put in a link so that we can let people know about how wonderful your work is and how it can be shared with others. Thank you so much,
Okay.
Narisha. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
thanks, Narisha.
Thank
Yeah.
you,
Thank you.
Murshidah. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you. Thank you.
Bye.
Yeah. So it's again,
Yes.
like I said, that love and respect. It is that forgiveness. It is gratitude, and it's that giving. And what I realized that a lot of businesses, right? They don't talk about. They may talk about gratitude. Yeah, you be grateful for your customers. You be grateful for the technology that you have and all that. But there's not much forgiveness. And I have been told before in the past by a business guru, forgiveness, you teach forgiveness. Oh, there's no forgiveness in business. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that was so harsh. Yeah, there's no forgiveness in business. And I'm like, oh, then how do you run business? Yeah. So how do you get new customers if you have one bad customer?
Yeah,
So that
exactly.
sort of thing.
And it's very interesting because when we talk on the work of forgiveness and business, every human being is evolving. I think we talked about this the last time too. Everyone is evolving. Every other second, people are evolving. Somebody I meet right now, even myself, I would say that I was never like how I was in 2003. I think you relate to me, all the time. I mean, those days when anybody want to do business with me, I'm just like flying in the sky and just like connecting and connecting and connecting. I'm like so excited and I'm not grounded. So if anybody's going to do business, I think I won't do business with myself in 2003.
Oh,
So
yeah.
the reality is that when you grow out of it, and the same way, just like me, just like you, I mean, there are others who have grown, and who they were yesterday, or even this morning would have changed and shifted for whatever reason. So if we see everyone forgiving them or forgiving ourselves for going that experience, I think that's what forgiveness is about that, right? It's about letting go of what experience, emotions we have with that situation. It's not about the person. So it is a very powerful exercise that we can even give each other another chance. I think we have given each other chances. I think that is the way that we can evolve in any relationship, and more so in business relationships. And it's so powerful to see that. I can see one more guest in the room. Let me see.
Oh, okay. Let's see. Bring her on.
Rufina is in the room.
Hello. Who do we have in the room?
Yes. So do you want to give an introduction to Rufina?
Okay. Rufina is someone I met just this year through LinkedIn. And we communicated and we found out that we were neighbors. Right? So, she is someone that I saw so much potential in the level of influence that she can carry. She initially, when I first met her, she's going through a lot of personal challenges, emotionally draining relationships and all that. She was going through transition, right? So I got her into our community, be surrounded by positive people. And of course, I also, met up with her and gave some motivation, gave her some alignment, and let her go, right? And now what I see is that she's been invited at a lot of conferences and seminars.
Wow.
As a speaker, as somebody with knowledge, authority, and as an expert, which I would say, like, beginning this year was so different.
Stop.
Bring Rufina on.
Welcome. Hi. Welcome.
Hi. Good afternoon to both of you. My camera is not so good.
Yes, no problem, Rufina.
Okay, good afternoon. I am so busy from morning. From 8 o'clock, I was the MC for one of the forum that I and my team organized.
Wow.
And I just finished another forum, our afternoon forum.
Wow, we thank you for being on this call with us. Thank you. It's an honor and privilege. So what do you speak on? Just share with us, and what is your area of specialization?
Okay, let me introduce myself. My name is Rufina. I'm originally from East Malaysia, a place called Kuching, Sarawak.
Yeah.
But I've been living in West Malaysia for 22 years now without I'm realizing it. It's so fast. And now I never do any business in my life before, and because of I want to have a life changing in my life. I decided I want to do something extra for myself because I know my potential. Okay, I always try to find self potential. Okay, so I was looking for mentors where I always like to watch a motivational talks, all these people. So, but I want to find, instead of looking for overseas, why don't I find Malaysian or a local where it's easy for me to meet up, have coffee, have a chat. So at first, what made me fall in love with Murshidah is I like the way she have a live video all the time in LinkedIn.
Yeah.
And it
and it was a motivation speaker on a Malaysia TV channel also. Every day, everybody hears her. So that's how inspiring and well-known she is in Malaysia. Yeah, go on.
I don't know her that much actually when I know her on LinkedIn. But I used to, before I connect with her, I used to watch all her videos on LinkedIn platform because I was very active in LinkedIn. Apparently that time supposedly looking for another job, but I end up watching her videos. So I just tell myself, because my instinct said you need to know this person, this aura, I can call it, like you need this person, you get to know her, she will help you. So something like telling me, this is the person you're looking for. Right. So I said, okay, I just try my luck. I don't know whether she will accept my connection or not. I just connect with her. So after that, we chit chat for a little while, this and that. So we exchanged numbers. So I told her, I would like to meet you. I would like to talk to you. I would like to ask you something. So that's how we end up. I met Murshidah and Zil for a coffee. That's the very first time we met. Okay, but before that, when we were chatting, we were surprised that we were neighbors.
Okay, interesting.
So that's how the relationship begins. And she told me that okay, she has a group in community with all the feminine entrepreneurs, the
Yes.
business people, everything. So it's a platform for me to learn. Sometimes I'm not that active in that group, but one thing, the beautiful about that group is you get love from each other, you get respect from each other, you learn from each other. So usually before I go to sleep, I will read all the message in that group, and I will watch all the videos in that group, and I learn something new that you cannot look back on your past, on what before, you can't go back there anymore, never look back.
Yes.
And also, I also learn like the more you give, the more you will get back. So from them, I learned how to uh, give donation, and I can feel the vibes, the good vibes coming to me.
The
And
blessings. Yeah.
It's so
yes,
important to have a group of a community to be there and to know that they are there with you no matter what happens. So
yes.
currently, what are the topics you speak about? I'm very curious. You have not answered that question. What are the topics you specialize in speaking?
Okay. I just get myself involved with USANA Health Science.
All
It's
right. Okay.
yes.
Yes.
So it's supplementary
Health,
company.
yes.
It's also
Healthcare.
not only about health, but it's also a network marketing where you create a job opportunity for people who are searching for job opportunity now. So uh, currently, I am so busy looking for helping people who wants to get an extra job, or something they want to do when they lost their jobs, and all that. But what I want to say is, once I joined uh, the legacy group, okay, is that you learn how to give love and you get love back from people. I learned the way. Yes, I always love the way Murshidah presenting, and I learn it, and I get a good feedback from people from that. They will say,
Sure.
"Oh, yes."
So you
So
come, you actually practice what she's doing and emulating. It's so powerful to have someone to emulate from, and that's how we can grow and learn. That's a very important aspect of business that we want
yes,
to emulate, we want to learn. So there's some guidance that we have, and normally these guidance are people that's walking in front of us, not like somebody trying to emulate Tony Robbins. He's nowhere to be seen in our space,
correct.
but when we have someone that's closer and in our reach, like right now when you have Murshidah and she's available, and that's how I think it's such a powerful experience to have someone to emulate. You've said it extremely right in that sense. It's wonderful. Thank you so
Yes,
much for that sharing, and I wish you all the best. Do leave a
thank
link
you.
on your work, and let us know how it can be supported as well.
Sure.
Right?
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much, Azira.
Yes.
Right.
Thank you. Wow, that's another awesome sharing from Rufina. And it's like what she said, sis, in this 21 days challenge, people are going to be empowered with a community that's going to be available for them to be supported by them. So you want to share a little bit about that? And I think we can round off the
Yeah.
session with that. Yes.
Okay, sure. We have that 21-day challenge, and every week, like what we shared before, is that you will be changing your mindsets, your beliefs, and the goal that you set, right? Why do you deserve that money? What is the money for? Money goes where there's a purpose. So where there's a strong purpose, the money will show up. So let's make it show up within 21 days and remove all that money drama in the first week. We want to get rid of all those nonsense. So forgiving is very, very critical in terms of letting go of all of those nonsense that's holding you back of attracting money. And then what we're going to do is the next is how you're going to manifest those instant cash. How much money you want to make by the end of 21 days, and know who you are meant to serve, who are meant to be in your own tribe, right? And also we'll be able to look into your strengths, and why not use that strength and turn it into your message or your business or even a package, right? And how to be living in gratitude, how to always program your mind and your whole life that you're in a state of gratitude no matter what. Yeah. And then the third week, what we're going to do is we're going to design. This is the left brain stuff that we're going to consciously design and do a business model as to how you're going to create a life to get and the amount of money that needs to support this dream life of yours, right? And how to sustain that business model and sustain your prosperity consciousness and take the action steps towards your prosperity. And we'll be working on the income model to build your prosperity tribe. And just like Rufina mentioned just now, community is so important. Noraisha was also, the women that were in our community, when they first come in, they're different people, right? They're different people because some of them have not gone through the forgiveness session. And when we instill that forgiveness, sometimes you don't see it immediately, like within 24 hours, there's going to be a change. It will sink in with a community with high vibes around you all the time, reminding you, instilling that forgiving, giving, love and respect, for gratitude, all of those things, all of those strong values inside. That is how you can even elevate yourself. Now, the 21-day challenge is to put all that laser sharp focus about money and your reality and your habits and behavior within that 3 weeks, right? And manifest the money that you intend to have after the 3 weeks. Then after that, we will invite you to our community where you will be able to network, be linked, and creating that high vibe environment, and that keeps you in that vibrations. Because a lot of times, just like Zig Ziglar said, just like motivation, you need to do it regularly. You can't just like showering. You can't shower in the morning and say I don't have to shower the rest of my life, right? Because I've showered 10 years ago. It doesn't work that way, right? So it's just like forgiveness and instilling love and respect. Yeah, you have high vibe 1 minute, and then we go through stuff, we face toxic people and all that. So it's all about to be constantly clearing yourself, yeah, so that you have that life journey more sustainably.
Great, that is awesome, and we can't wait to have all our friends who are watching this video register with us, and that's the link for you to register. We'll put it again in the group as well, in the comment box, and you can come into the session, and it's 21 days starting on June 15. And for those who want to know more details, you can also check in with us, comment in the box, we'll PM you for more information. And I'm sure you have friends, you have also business people and partners and team members who would really, really benefit from this, because we are becoming a very conscious community globally. And if we are going to be surrounded, so it is our work to inculcate. It's a responsibility, actually. If you're already someone so positive and people that can do with some kind of support in getting into that space, you should jump them into this 21 days challenge and give them this, for them to be part of a journey and a community that can handhold together for the 21 days to rewire and ensure that the wire stays as a pattern for you to live in gratitude and live in a state of prosperity and in that space of consciousness, in that space, right? Thank you so much, sister. What's your final take on this? So before we say goodbye to everyone.
All right, my final say is do register right away. Get yourself in there and don't look back. If you are looking at something like, okay, maybe nearer the date I will register and all that. Of course, we have an early bird session, right? A little bird date, right? And after that, the price is going to increase. So get in early before the early bird ends. And then, once you are in there, it's just to prepare yourself and prep yourself for the 21-day challenge. So get in and register, and then I'll see you on the 15th of June.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, everyone. Look forward to seeing y'all in the next session and also on the 21 days challenge.